Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in to what is now the fifth episode of the Kilty Canon. Uh, yes, you might be asking why I'm dressed like this. It's because I'm off to the glitz and the glamour of the London Football Awards tonight. I've been invited by the charity Willow, which was started by our very own Arsenal legend, double-winning goalkeeper himself, Mr. Bob the Gentleman Wilson. It helps 16 to 24-year-olds who are going through a serious illness have a special day to forget about the treatment and the illness that basically takes over the day-to-day lives. It's a really wonderful idea and a really great charity. And I've written a couple of things for them to help them out, and they kindly offered me to come along tonight and quiz all the players that are going to be in attendance, try and get some sound bites for them, and in turn, obviously, I can be my fanboy self. Everyone who knows me knows that normally I turn up to these things uninvited with a placard outside saying "Please love me," but this time I'm going in an official capacity, hence the tie, the suit. Yes, I realise my neck has vanished, but it still does exist. It is under the beard and underneath the Harry Hill collar. So yes, I'm off to the London Football Awards tonight, so please keep your eyes peeled on my Twitter feed. And obviously tomorrow or the next day there should be a blog on the Hot Stepanovs detailing all the events from the night. It should be a good night. I just hope that I don't lose it whenever I see Alan Smith, Lee Dixon, David Seaman. I'm probably gonna, but I'll be able to show you my restraining order next week. On to Arsenal matters. We haven't had a match to speak of in the last week, but we have had goings on in the club. And this Saturday, which is now, technically I'm recording this on Thursday, so 2 days from now we're playing Liverpool, which is our last match since against our cup match against Sutton. What a game to come back to in the Premier League. Liverpool haven't got the greatest record against, in the last 8 matches actually. They've got 1 win in the last 8, I believe. And yet, despite that poor form, they are still 1 point below us. They're still in contention. It shows you how strong their first half of the season was. Their dip in form coincided with Sadio Mane going away with the African Cup of Nations for his country. He's back now, which isn't good. We've all tasted the pain that he inflicted in the first match of the season, in the 4-3 win that they inflicted over us. I think that was lucky because we didn't have our first choice defensive pairing at the time. We played a debutant, Rob Holding, at the time, and we played Callum Chambers alongside him, who's now on loan at Middlesbrough and doing really well, may I add. If it wasn't for that, then I don't think the result would have been in Liverpool's favour at all. I think we played really well. It's just our defensive liabilities cost us. Our defensive greenness, shall we say. I think it'll be different this time around. I really do. Liverpool's record against the top 6 is really, really impressive. Liverpool have dropped points against the lesser teams that they should be perceived as being superior to. They've really struggled, but against the top sides they always seem to summon up the strength and reservoirs of character that they possess. And we haven't got the greatest record going to Anfield, not in recent years anyway. I mean, you say Anfield and Arsenal, you think of that hazy night in 1989. But it's not like that anymore. We have struggled to get anything from Anfield for a number of years now. But it could be different this time. Jurgen Klopp's tactics are taking a while to hold. If we can get past that first stage, I think their pressing tactics could run out of steam and we could run riot. And we've got some players to come off the bench. This is our squad strength. We've got some players come off the bench that could really hurt them in the latter stages. So, who knows? In terms of the squad, Wenger came out in his press conference today, which is Thursday, mentioned about the fact that Mesut Ozil was missing from training. It's nothing to worry about, apparently, but he will be part of the squad. He'll be part of the team, no doubt. He'll be playing. Whether it'll be the Ozil of the last 2-3 months, which has been struggling for form, or it'll be the Ozil we all know and love, that is another matter. But now would be the perfect time for him to rise to prominence again. We all know what he's capable of. Let's hope he can find it. Aaron Ramsey's back to full fitness, but I can't imagine him jumping straight into the team. But then he is a favourite of Wenger's, so who knows. What would be nice is that Lucas Perez gets the recognition his performances deserve. Every time he gets on the pitch, he makes a difference, either through an assist or a goal. Alex Iwobi is struggling for form. I've got the utmost faith in Iwobi. We've seen what he can do. He's still very, very young though, so he's going to go through peaks and troughs until he finds that magical consistency that some players still can't find. Until then, Lucas deserves to start. He deserves to start on the flank, and he really does possess a threat that we could do with. Liverpool, their defence is their weakness. Apart from Joel Matip at the back, they've got Ragnar Klavan, who has not acclimatised to proceedings in the Premiership since moving from the Bundesliga. They've got Dejan Lovren, who is always prone to an error or two. They are weak at the back. Their left back problems are there for all to see. They've either got Alberto Moreno, or James Milner, who is reliable, Mr. Steady, but that is not enough in the Premier League. We should play Lucas, and then just imagine him on one flank, Theo on the other, Ozil and Alexis. I mean, that is a world-class attacking quartet. I mean, that is dangerous. You've got an asset in every single position, and with their woeful defensive record, they wouldn't know where to go. We should be tearing them a new one. But confidence is the fuel that drives our team, and we are running on empty at the moment, so this would be high time to turn things around. I think, like I said, I think Iwobi should be on the bench. He needs a break from the team. It's good that we've got Lucas to come in. In midfield, I would play Coquelin and Xhaka, because whether you like Coquelin or not, he is still one of the best ball winners. Stats say as well, stats back this up, that one of the best ball winners in the Premier League. It's just he can't do anything with it. He can get possession, just give him a very easy outlet once he has possession. Because if you expect him to do anything, he's going to let you down because he can't do it. But he will get you the ball. He's like a terrier. I'd play him, and I'd play Xhaka, because yes, his tackling has let him down, but his pedigree is strong. He is a good player. We still have to remember that he's acclimatising to a different league, different match official parameters as well, because the referees treat you differently in each league you come from, and obviously his tackling really needs to be adjusted. But he can tackle. We've all seen it for Switzerland. We've all seen it for Mönchengladbach. There's a reason why he was so highly rated when we signed him, and we were so excited to sign him. Don't lose faith in him. He is a brilliant player. He really is. His passing is one of the best in our squad, and he'll come good. He'll come good. As long as we have faith in him, and whoever the manager is has faith in him. In terms of the manager, he's still biting his lip in regards to declaring whether he's staying or going. There'll be unhappy campers on both sides with whatever he decides. I won't be upset if he stays. I won't be pleased, because I don't think it's the best decision. I think he needs a shake-up. But I will support him as long as he's at the club, because one, I think he deserves that, and two, I don't see any point in not supporting the club that you're a supporter of. I mean, that's kind of an oxymoron. Don't support the club you're a supporter of. Yes, everyone wants change. Well, the majority of us now want change. There's been a watershed moment, it seems, and the majority of the fan base want a change in managerial position. But if he stays, then you back the team. It's as simple as that. Wenger will only go on so long. We know there's an offer on the table for him, and if he wishes to stay, then he'll take it. I'll back him. I'll back him to the hilt if he stays. If he goes, then I just hope we've done our homework and we choose the best man for the job. There's rumours and smoke surrounding Massimiliano Allegri at Juve. He's even been apparently taking English lessons, but it's all hearsay. None of us really know the truth. I'll wait until it's declared, and then we'll go from there. We can all see that there needs to be a bit of a shake-up. The last 6 years it's pretty much been over and over again, repeating the same mistakes, but I still think that Wenger can engineer something. I just think it's getting less and less likely as games go on, and the man is so stubborn. He is unwilling to change, and that's not... Football is an ever-evolving game, and you need to change. You need to roll with the punches, and Wenger sticks to his ideals and his faith in his players, whether they've let him down or not, and I think that has cost him ultimately. Whether that'll cost him his job, that's up to him. Rightly or wrongly, he makes the final decision. So that's where I stand. We've got a lot of players out on loan, but one headline that I did catch was just yesterday. Steffi Mavididi, I think that's how you pronounce his name. It's a hell of a mouthful. Really, really bright attacking young talent. Gone on loan to Charlton. I think a lot of us saw the video that was doing the rounds last week from Charlton's last match, where he took the ball in his own half and went round about 4 or 5 players. It was amazing to see. The boy's got talent. Brilliant close control, especially at pace. He's now been ruled out for 4 months, which is obviously the rest of the season for Charlton, through a knee injury. And that's brutal for the boy. He was doing really, really well. He was making headway, and now he's got to sit on the sidelines and just wait and heal. Next season, his performances, even though they were limited, he will have earned, hopefully, a championship loan move, or even, let's see how he does in pre-season. That's always quite interesting. This pre-season just passed, we saw a lot of action from the youth team. It was great to see. It'll be a good barometer to see how far he's come, but let's see how he recovers first. The knee injury is always quite bad. Good luck to the boy. Callum Chambers is doing really well at Middlesbrough. John Terrell's at Rangers. We've got a few options coming back, but then the age-old question pops up: do you keep faith with your youngsters, and therefore rule out any transfer signings from external sources, or do you buy players that are ready to mix it straight away and slow cook the youngsters, and therefore their progression is hampered slightly because you need game time to progress? It's very, very tough. I think some players are ready, some players aren't. I think Callum Chambers is more than ready. Same with Rob Holding, but a bit of experience wouldn't go amiss as well. I can't answer that because I'm not a coach. I am merely a big-headed blogger. As always, I always ask for some questions from you, and you have all duly obliged yet again. Thank you very much. First question on Twitter is from James Rowell Stokes, a very, very good friend of mine who we should be attending the Lincoln City Cup game together. About damn time. James has said, who would you prefer as Arsenal manager? At Simply Enigmatic, or the enigma that is at Funky Chris? Both I know very well. That's a tough question. I think Funky, he is a teacher, so I think he can get his lessons down to his squad if he was placed as Arsenal manager. But I also think you can't predict anything that he's going to do from one day to the next, and unpredictability and uncertainty are the enemy of success. So, but then Simply Enigmatic. He's a silk scarf wearing ponce. I love him to bits, but he's a fucking dickhead. Who would I pick? Who could I stand to see in the hot seat? I can't answer this. This is tough. I'm gonna go Sim. Simply because Funky would end up literally setting fire to everything. The man is crazy. The man's nuts. Thank you for the question, James. What's next, question-wise? Sorry, my screen keeps dying. This is from at Non-Flying Iceman. Good man, Joel49. Joel has asked, if Ozil and Koscielny aren't fit for Liverpool, who would you like to see in their place? Ozil, I would like. I think Lucas can play there. I think his presence around the box when he has played has been really, really his deft touch. I think he could be a real success there. But knowing Arsene, he will be there. If Cos isn't fit, I don't want to see Gabriel anywhere near the fucking team at all. So that leaves Mertesacker, who hasn't played a game since returning, or Rob Holding, who got tore a new one the last time we played Liverpool. But he'd be alongside Mustafi this time. I'd go Mertesacker, just experience, because Mustafi can clean up behind Mertesacker through his lack of pace, but Mertesacker's positioning, his awareness, his savvy, that could be valuable. So I'd go Mertesacker. Brilliant question though. Everyone's going to lambast me for picking Big Pair, but what can you do? I like the man. Next question is Dougie Cazorla, at DFresh10, and he said, why did you have to go and leave our youth academy along with Andries Jonker to coach at Wolfsburg? This is a running thing. Apparently I look like Freddie Ljungberg, and I'm not going to dispel that myth, because Freddie Ljungberg is a sexy, sexy bitch. And if anyone thinks I look like him, then yes, that is winning. Winner, winner, chicken dinner. I am the Scottish Freddie. Okay, I want you all to spread that rumour as far as you can, even though it's simply not true. I look like, as my good friend Daniel Cameron said, I look like if Freddie Ljungberg had sex with a potato. I am the result. So, yeah, I am quite gutted about another legend leaving Arsenal's coaching setup. We've got so much we can utilise. Tony Adams is in China, Dennis Bergkamp is away from the club. We've got Bobby Pires in a non-coaching capacity, Patrick Vieira's at New York. So many legends who could be helping out with the team. Ray Parlour, Martin Keown. Just now that Ljungberg's gone, I can understand why he took the position. He was an under-15 coach at Arsenal, and he's been given a chance to be assistant manager in the Bundesliga, so I can understand him going. But it's still sad to see, because he's like my favourite player. Him and Keown are my favourite players of all time, so on a personal point of view, yeah, I'm gutted, but yeah, good luck to him, and he's always going to have an open door at Arsenal, or at least I fucking hope so. Next question is from a good friend of mine, a man who is in the know when it comes to European football, especially La Liga, whiskey enthusiast, at Gunnar_N_BCN. No Jack, no fun. He's asked me, Rambo, Wilshere, Elneny, Xhaka, Coquelin, Santi. Which two will be in the starting 11 kickoff next season? Which two will be sold? Oh, blimey. I think Santi can still kick it with the best of them. I would have him in the lineup every day of the week, even if he's going to be 33 very soon. He's got to start. That means we need a defensive presence next to him. Xhaka. I'd go Xhaka next to him, because I think Xhaka can be moulded into the all-encompassing DM that everyone bangs on about. So I'd go with those two. Selling, I would sell Elneny, because while I think he's good and I rate him, I think he is simply squad filler. I don't think he's good enough to be starting for an Arsenal team. Simple as that. And that leaves Rambo, Wilshere and Coquelin. Wilshere, I love him. I think he's capable of anything he wants to achieve. It's just fitness that has stopped him. Ramsey has flitted in and out of the side, which has of course hampered his form, but I don't think central midfield is his best position. I think he's more of an attacker. I think he could excel in the number 10 position. But he's never going to get that spot. So I'd sell Ramsey. Yeah, no, over Coquelin. No, over Coquelin. Ooh, I love Coquelin as well. I think he's a brilliant DM. Alright, sell Coquelin. Sod it. Keep Ramsey, keep Wilshere. Crazy decision. That was a tough one. Good question, John. Next question is from at Kohabo Berlin. And he's a good friend of mine. He always retweets my stuff, so that therefore qualifies him as a friend, because he's very kind. Thank you. He has asked, will Czech still be number one next season? Szczesny, Ospina, Martinez, or somebody new to take the spot? I would have Czech as number one. I mean, he's only, 33, 34, which is pretty much peak years for a goalkeeper. His pedigree is second to none, and yes, he has had a dip in form, but a dip in form is temporary. Class is permanent. the man still deserves the number 1 spot. But Szczesny has been on fire at Roma. If he can prove he has matured, Szczesny's going to be a real shout for number 1. Ospina, good backup keeper, good solid keeper, but no. Martinez hasn't done enough, but I would have him as a number 2. Number 2. I'd like to see him on loan, alternatively, at a Premier League club where he's going to be assured of a start and see how he does over a season, to really test the water for Martinez. But I probably, between Cech and Szczesny, I don't know. I'd probably still stick with Cech. I've been burned too many times by Szczesny. Now, a good friend of mine, another one, I've got many friends, I'm very popular, is Mr. DJ. His tag is, his handle is @expatgunnar with an H at the end, and he is asked, why aren't football savvy former players like Tony Adams, Bergkamp, Vieira, Thierry Henry, Keown, Seaman, Parlour, and Overmars employed in some coaching capacity? I don't know. Like I touched on earlier, we've got a vast reserve of legendary players who could really help our youth system, or Arsene Wenger to have some ideas, new ideas, but he seems at ill at ease with new ideas and people who are opposing him. I hate to think like that, but it does seem that way. I mean, there's many who are away from the club who their only rightful place is at the club. It doesn't fit right with me that Vieira's at Man City, New York City. It's not right that Overmars and Bergkamp are in Holland, the Netherlands. I'm sorry. David Seaman is doing his thing with the media, and he should be a goalkeeping coach. I mean, Jerry Payton's been there long enough. He's not helped. Get him out. I mean, apparently Szczesny had rows with him in his last season. So, you know, get Seaman in, one of the best keepers of all time in the Premier League, and he's twiddling his thumbs. Get him in. Brilliant keeper. Brilliant goalkeeping coach. Keown and Adams, they could teach our I mean, Tony Adams and Martin Keown teaching Rob Holding and Callum Chambers. The mouth waters. I don't know why they're not there, but you'd like to think they would have an open door. I don't know. I lament the fact too. Next question is from Sam @Arrakis_89. He says, how many times have you been satisfied with the amount of money from selling big players? The thought of selling big players doesn't sit right with me either, so I can't really answer that question. Selling a big player and getting a big amount for it, doesn't matter how much we get. If we're selling a big player, we're a selling club, so we shouldn't be selling them unless they really, really want to go, and then there's no point keeping them. So I don't care how much we get, I just want to keep our best players. And final question is everyone's favourite Big Bear himself, the man behind the Bergkamp Wonderland podcast, Danny @the GFP, and he what has he asked? Here we go. If Conte, Jose, Klopp or Pep had our squad, would we be doing better than we are? Jose, no, he would have destroyed the team because he's not Arsenal material, and he'd have us playing defensive football, and we haven't got the team to play defensive football. Jurgen Klopp, I think he would have been a good fit, but his ideas would have taken time to implement, fitness structure and whatnot, to implement the grueling press that he employs. Pep, he'd be a good fit too. Conte, I don't know. His 3-5-2 that he's got going at Chelsea has worked wonders. Would he be good at Arsenal? I don't know. I think Klopp or Pep could well have elevated our standing above Wenger. Brilliant question, Danny. Yeah, Klopp or Pep I would have went for. Thank you for your questions. I'll let you know next week when I'm recording again. I'm off to the LFAs, the London Football Awards, with all the glitz and glamour, and I'll keep you up to date with any developments. Thank you for watching. I really do appreciate it. And, yeah, word to your respective guardians.